Hey guys, Brian here. Thank you for checking out the channel. Thank you for checking out this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think about this new format that I'm doing of these episodes that's gonna be coming out. It's basically a show. One day it may be a podcast. I'll figure out the name of it, what I'm gonna do with it later. But right now, I'm gonna just let it flow. So, got my friend here with me too. She doesn't want to be on camera, but we'll figure that out later, right? So I came across something, right? So I came across something in a conversation, or I was reading something where it said, you can't want anything that doesn't already belong to you. If it didn't already contain the potential of you experiencing it, you wouldn't be feeling it. You wouldn't even be able to think about it if you didn't have some minute chance or likelihood of experiencing it at all. Right? So that part is interesting. It jumped out at me. I looked at it when I read it, or when I read it, it jumped out at me because it's interesting, because it makes a ton of sense. Does it make sense to you or no?
I mean, it makes sense on a surface level to me, but I feel like you have to be at a certain level mentally to truly understand that, right? I feel like if you're at a certain level, you understand that thoughts and things come to your mind because they may be signs that you're supposed to be doing something different, or there may be signs that you need to continue doing what you're doing because it's going to pay off. But you have to be at a certain level. I don't feel like the average person is there and they understand that, because I feel like there's a lot of things in general that come to people's mind that they're never going to have. And when I say they're never going to have it, it's because their intentions behind wanting it and why they want it and what they're doing it for is just based on what they see in the media or what they see on TV or whatever, because they're influenced by different things. So in that aspect, yeah, thoughts going to come to their mind like, oh, I'm going to marry a billionaire, or oh, I'm going to be a rapper's wife, or I'm going to have a wedding that costs $250,000 because that's what I'm entitled to. Right? So like those thoughts come to people's head, but that don't mean that they gonna get what they thinking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I guess I'm thinking it more. You're right. I could be thinking about it of a more surface level. When you go a little bit deeper, like someone asking for a $250,000 wedding when they're not paying for it, they don't have the money to provide for it. They're just asking for it, right? They're just like hoping to wish, like, hey, this is what.
Yeah, but that thought came to her mind and she really believed that she should have that, she's entitled to that. But is that going to happen for her? It might if that guy gives in, but I mean, probably not.
But what I was saying is there's like a little inch of potential that it could possibly happen, right? Like it could possibly be for them.
Yeah, I feel like anything is possible, right? And I like to say, like, never say never. But at the same time, you have to be realistic. There are people who are not in their right mind mentally that literally lives for social media, sits on the internet all day, doesn't do shit else. And they have this expectation of reality based on other people's life that they see in the media. Those thoughts go through their head all day, every day. Are majority of those people going to live those lifestyles, those same lifestyles, being able to afford all of these different designer bags, drive all these fancy whips, like travel, do all these things? The average person is probably not going to be able to do that. Why? Because they have done nothing that afforded them to be at that level. But they think that they can because that's what they see all day, every day.
So the potential comes when you do the work then, right?
Yeah, the potential comes when you put in the effort and you're actually working towards something.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you reach that higher level or not, you're going to get somewhere. If you're doing work every single day towards your goal or your dream, there's no way you're not going to get further, right? You're not going to be at the same place you was at 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, if you're putting in the work and the effort. So yeah, it comes when you put in the work.
So the work, I think a lot of people don't understand that the work comes in. The work isn't overnight, right? A lot of people, like with the pandemic happening.
The pandemic.
Right? So with the pandemic happening, it's like a lot of people feel like that money is just gonna come quick, right? That money was coming in so quick. Everybody was making so much money. It made the work seem like it wasn't needed, right? There's no, how do I just get this? I just could get. It was just like, boom, boom, boom. Like everybody was making money off of whatever. The government was giving out money. There was so many different plays, schemes that was going on with people getting money, where it removed the mindset of the work having to come in, right? So that's where you see a lot of people getting into businesses and a lot of people starting new things during that pandemic time, because they thought, hey, the money was just going to keep coming in. It was never going to stop. But they didn't learn the work that had to come with that business or with whatever they were trying to do. So now with times change and a recession looming and things going different, that time, that effort that needs to be put in, a lot of people may not be built to really do that. It's more like, hey, what can I do to find more money to patch up the bullshit or the mess ups that I had in to fix whatever is going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I think to that point, I think it's actually a great thing that's happening though. I think it's a great thing that, things are slowing down, the economy is slowing down. It's maybe showing these people that, business isn't as easy as they thought. Maybe people are experiencing failures. Maybe they are going through hard times financially. I think it's a great thing. Not because, people are down, like, right? Like they losing money, not because of that, but more so because of the lessons that you learn when you're in that state, right? If you never experience a certain state in your life in terms of being down or being broke or going through tough times, you always going to think it's easy. And when you always think it's easy and you really fall on your face, that's going to hurt real bad. So I feel like when you go through things in life, it's for a reason, to make you stronger and to like pull those lessons out of you. And if you know anything about business, you know that, or you should know that, there's going to be low times and there's going to be high times. So for you to jump into business in 2020 during the pandemic and think you just about to roll upward the whole time is probably not going to happen that way. And if it does happen that way, it's very few people that make it like that. So I feel like the good thing in all of that is more so the lessons that can come out of it, because it'll teach people how to kind of go about business in different ways and then be a little bit more strategic when they looking to move forward if they do continue their businesses.
The lessons that come out of it that people need to understand, from my understanding, is more like, if you got into something just for the money, great, make your money if you make your money. But if you're starting to lose money and you feel like you can always pivot, right? I feel like a lot of times people are afraid to pivot, to change, to do something different, to explore a different business. Not like jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. That's to see what makes money. No, it's more like, I put my all into this and it's still not working out for me. It's time to do something different. If you feel like you overturned, you looked under every rock, you turned every corner, you looked under every single thing that you could possibly do, and it's still not coming out for you, it's probably not meant for you to be successful in that business. And the skills or whatever you learned from doing that business, you take it somewhere else, and chances are it's going to be a piece of cake. Once you learn like the beginning processes of that business, once you get in the flow of that business, is that if that next business from that previous business failure is for you, you'll see that it's gonna skyrocket, right? This happened to me so many times where it's like, yo, I'm not doing well, or I'm failing at this, and then I take what I learned from what I was previously doing and implemented it somewhere else, and the what I was losing or what I was struggling to make over there, I put it towards something else, and it 10x like whatever I was doing.
Yeah, I think to that point as well, like just knowing when it's time to move on. Because sometimes your business may be doing well, but you may not be meant to be in that business forever, right? So like, although it's doing well, it may be time to move forward with something else that you're supposed to be doing, right? That you're called to be doing, right? So I feel like that's important too, because sometimes people feel like they have to stay in something just because they started there, right? They have to stay in this business, or they have to stay in this career just because they started there. But if you're getting feelings and you're getting, these ideas that you want to move on and try something different, there's nothing wrong with doing that either.
So there is a difference between the two, right? There is a difference between, hey, you're just starting something and giving up, and you're just starting something and, hey, I really tried this and I feel like it's not for me, it's not working out for me, right? Because there's certain people that would say you're not really successful if you really have, like, you giving up is like, that's why you keep failing, is because you constantly giving up. You're not going through the tough phases. You're not getting over that. You're not going through that. If you just continue to work and work, you're gonna end up being successful, right? But how I feel about that is there's only so much that one person can really deal with in order to say, like, hey, this is not really for me, right? Meaning, if you're from my point of view, if you like, what I'm saying is, if you tried everything, right? If you went through every loophole, everything that you could possibly try to do, it's not giving up. It's more so understanding that this isn't the spot for me.
Yeah, and it's time to pivot, and I don't think it's anything wrong with that at all. So yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to end it right there. Unless you had anything else you wanted to say.
No, this was a good episode. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you for coming on. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check us out on the next episode. Thank you.